Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly live session.
Hello, good evening.
Today we have Dr. Melissa
Hi, I'm Dr. Melissa.
and me, Dr. Derek,
Yes,
with,
Dr. Derek.
with you all.
Mm.
So, our topic for this week will be: Have you ever wondered the root cause of your eczema might be due to happy
Happy hormones.
hormones?
Yes, such
Right.
an interesting topic. I believe that most of the people out there won't realize the connection between these two because they always feel that skin eczema is just purely a skin problem, not related to your hormones, right?
I think mostly hormones will be at the very back of their mind,
Yes,
and happy hormones are not the kind of hormones that many people are familiar with. They
yes.
are more familiar with other kinds of hormones, steroids, or even
Mm.
sexual hormones, male
True.
hormones, female hormones.
Mm.
But happy hormone is something that is very different.
Mm.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. But why do we think that eczema is related to happy
Happy
hormones?
hormones.
Okay, let's go a bit deeper into eczema first, so that we all understand what is eczema. Okay,
Mm.
eczema actually it means skin inflammation.
Mm.
So this skin inflammation can come from many things,
Mm-hmm.
and eczema is actually one of the most common skin condition affecting all kind of peoples in the world.
Yes, definitely. I think like 80% of my patient load in the clinic actually comprise of eczema patients.
It is so common that the research has shown that around 20% of kids
Mm-hmm.
or even 10% of adults they have eczema. So it's a
Mm.
very huge burden,
Yes.
all right? So why does skin inflammation or eczema happen? So we know that it's due to many causes. There's no one single cause that triggers up eczema. Usually it's because of genetic, environmental factor, or even social factors, or even your body health inflammation issues.
Mm.
So specifically, it's because of a damaged skin barrier causing all those allergens to go into your skin and
Mm.
you become sensitized. So that's one of the
Mm.
reason. The other
Mm.
one is body inflammation,
Mm.
makes your skin more irritable, more susceptible to all kinds of pollutants or even pollens that can
Mm.
trigger up all these things. And some people they are born with immune system that are not functioning as well as others,
Mm.
so they have a bit of autoimmune problem or their immune system is a bit dysregulated. So all these things can trigger up eczema as well.
Mm.
Not to forget some environmental irritant that are known to trigger up eczema.
Mm.
Mm.
So you mean that eczema is not purely a skin problem, it's closely related to your inner health, such as your body immune system, your body's inflammation level as well,
Yep,
right?
definitely.
Mm.
Since you already know eczema so well, but why do you think there are so many people who are suffering from eczema, if either flare-ups or even recurrence? Why are they still no a good solution or a permanent solution that can help them to control it so well?
Because they cannot find the root cause, because they are just treating the skin, they are not treating the inner health, which is the body's inflammation and the hormones part. That's why the eczema keep recurring. Yes.
True,
Mm.
true that. Even though sometimes we advise patients to avoid all those known triggers,
Triggers.
but
Uh-huh.
it's in reality it's really hard to avoid those triggers
Mm.
completely. Yeah.
Yes.
Other lifestyle factors, for example, you have to sleep late, or you have to go and have a drink with your friend, or even some other stress.
Mm.
You cannot really control that.
Yes. Mm.
Okay, so all right, so we all know something about eczema, but what
Mm.
about happy hormones? Can you tell
Okay.
us a bit more about happy hormones?
Okay, so today our main topic is about eczema and happy hormones. So what are actually happy hormones? So generally happy hormones, as the name suggests, they are the hormones that are produced in our body or by our brain that can give us the feeling of happiness, well-being, as well as improve our overall mental health. That means you feel happy when these hormones are released in our body. So generally, there are four main types of hormones that we will be focusing more today, such as the number one will be endorphins, okay? And number two will be serotonin. Number three will be oxytocin. And number four will be dopamine. Of course, there are other happy hormones such as norepinephrine that that we will not cover today. So we'll cover mainly these four main hormones. So actually, these happy hormones, they are released in our body when we are doing certain tasks or activities. So it can actually be generated in our body through healthy lifestyle. Okay, for example, having a balanced diet, okay, or through exercises, moving our own body, and then having sufficient sleep, positive social interactions such as giving a hug to our child. Yeah, all this can actually promote or increase the release of these happy hormones. So how are happy hormones related to eczema? So this is the main connection that we will be discussing more today.
All right. Thank you very much for the explanation.
Mm.
It's also shown that people who have eczema, they tend to get a bit of emotional symptoms.
Mm.
For those who are having a bit more severe or very active flare-ups of eczema, we notice they tend to have more negative mental health problems. For example, they feel their moods become more negative, they get anxious, or even they are very fretful to go out in the social setting. Some might even develop depression. And all these are somehow related to our happy hormones. Right?
So that means by improving our happy hormones, we are less stressed, so it will improve our eczema condition as well. Is that right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So yeah, without any further delay, we'll be going into the first hormones that we'll be discussing today. That will be the endorphins. Okay, have you heard about these endorphin hormones?
Endorphin hormone, something that makes you happy?
Yes, it's definitely one of the happy hormones. But actually, the main difference of this hormone from the others are actually the name is actually the natural painkiller.
Oh, okay.
Yes, natural painkiller. So as the name suggests, okay, natural painkiller, so it can give pain relief. And also the name actually, endorphin means endogenous morphine.
Oh.
That means our body produces its own morphine-like effects through endorphins. Yes.
So what does morphine do?
Okay. Morphine, as most of us know, morphine actually gives us the pain relief, okay, reduce our pain. And the other effect that it gives is actually the feeling of euphoria. Have you heard about euphoria?
Something feel very extremely happy?
Yes, happiness and very excited or intense excitement, we mean. So morphine actually gives us the feeling of pain relief, number one, and number two is the intense excitement and happiness. So endorphins are actually released in our body when we move our body, number one. Okay, so through exercise, endorphins are released, such as when you are doing a hobby, play badminton, jogging, all this will actually promote the release of endorphins. Okay, so besides exercising, laughter, when you laugh, okay, yes, when you laugh, when you're happy, endorphins are also released.
So it's a positive feedback. When you're happy, you release more of these happy hormones.
Yes, definitely. So exercise, being happy, and number three is actually eat dark chocolate.
Oh, why so specific? Only dark chocolate.
Okay, so actually a lot of research has been done on this dark chocolate, okay, and they found that there is a chemical named flavonols in dark chocolate, okay, specifically in dark chocolate. Okay, this is actually a very strong antioxidants found in dark chocolate that can promote the release of endorphins in our body. So having dark chocolate is very good because it makes us feel happy. That's why we always feel better, or when we are down, we feel like taking some chocolate to boost our mood. Yes. And actually research says that you need at least 85% of cocoa percentage in the dark chocolate to boost the production of this endorphin.
Oh, so
Yes.
everyone should eat dark chocolate.
Yes, specifically dark chocolate of at least 85%. Yes.
Okay, very interesting.
Mm.
So we know what is endorphin, what is morphine. Then, what are the functions or effects of endorphins? For example, if you eat dark chocolate already, other than feeling happy, what else can we get from this endorphin?
It can relieve pain. So in patients with eczema who are having extreme itchiness or painful lesions on the skin, it can actually help to alleviate the pain that the eczema patients are suffering from. Yes. So besides that, as we all know, stress are actually a known cause or known trigger of eczema. So stress can actually reduce the level of endorphins. Or we say endorphins are released when we do some stress relief exercises, stress relief hobbies. Okay, so by increasing the level of endorphin, it can actually improve your skin eczema. Yes. So high level of endorphin is actually good for your eczema, more stable. And it helps to relieve the pain of eczema. And number three, it also helps to improve the mood of eczema patients because as we all know, eczema patients have poor quality of life, very depressed mood. So all this can be improved if we are able to improve these endorphin hormones in eczema patients.
Okay. So, in summary, so endorphin is something like morphine,
Yes.
natural morphine in our body.
Yes, natural
and
morphine.
It helps in those who are suffering from eczema in terms of number one, the mood, feeling better. Number two, make them feel more comfortable, less painful.
Yes,
And number three, it can even stabilize their eczema flare-ups and their
yes,
condition.
definitely.
Okay, very interesting. So everyone should start eating more dark chocolate
Yeah,
from now.
more dark chocolate, exercise more, laugh more, like Dr. Derek, yes. And how about, Dr. Derek, how about the other hormone, serotonin?
Okay, serotonin is something a bit more special. It doesn't
Okay.
just function as a hormone. So it's also a neurotransmitter in which it's a signal come from our brain to tell our nervous system to do work. Okay, and what are the works that serotonin does is it affects our mood, our sleep, memory, and also some other functions. So being a neurotransmitter, it acts as a communication in between our nervous system and also our immune system, okay, telling them what to do, okay, and this is very important in terms of eczema because eczema is not only just a skin disease, it's also related to our immune system, it's also related to our nervous system, okay, and research has shown that this serotonin, okay, when it's found in high level in the skin, okay, what it will do to the skin is it will cause swelling, it will cause our blood vessel to be dilated, and will make our skin itch. So in another term is it will make our skin more towards the inflammation state. So which is eczema, because eczema is skin inflammation. So too high level of serotonin can cause all these symptoms. You can have eczema flaring up, you can have your eczema keep on coming back. So
high serotonin is not good for eczema?
Yes.
Too high?
Yes, high level of serotonin, when it's too much over the skin area, it can affect all these problems. So in the other hand, if too low level of it is shown to produce depression-like symptoms. So patient can go into depressed mood, very low mood, stuff like that.
So cannot be too high or too low.
Okay. Too high in the skin, you cause skin inflammation.
Too low, it can lead to depression.
Too low in your body can cause depression. But if you have an overall very high serotonin level, not just in the skin but in the whole body, what will you feel? You feel the opposite of depression. Okay. So it's actually a medical condition if you have too much of serotonin in the body, until you can cause your mental status to be a bit altered. You have palpitation, you have diarrhea and all. But it's a very rare condition, only in those who are taking some medication affecting your serotonin level. Naturally, our body have a normal level of serotonin, and it rarely goes above until that level if you don't take any medication that cause all these things. So a normal to a slightly higher serotonin will be good
Good.
for our body, because we don't want to get that irritation, very agitated problem, but we also don't want to get that depression, like too low. So somewhere in between is actually very good. So how can we boost up our serotonin?
Yeah, how to boost our serotonin? Like
Okay,
endorphins through exercise, laughing, dark chocolate. How about serotonin?
more or less the same thing. Serotonin is actually released when you get enough exercise. Okay, you get sunlight exposure. Okay, you can take some diet which is high in serotonin. For example, eggs, chicken, actually all sorts of proteins, including your tofu and some green leafy vegetables such as spinach, or even some fruits like pineapple. So all these are the natural ways to increase your serotonin, and it will not cause you any problems in this way.
So through yoga can?
Sure, yeah.
Yoga. How about going out in the sunlight?
Sure.
Exercise? Sure can. Okay.
Very. So serotonin is important not to get into the too low level, because in eczema patient, it has shown that for those who have very bad eczema, the serotonin level is low, and their depressive symptom is more.
So in summary, high levels of serotonin is actually good for skin eczema patients, right?
Normal to slightly normal, not
Normal
until
to
the
slightly
extreme.
high. Yes. Okay,
extremely
not
high.
too high. Okay. And there are certain ways to improve or boost up your serotonin levels, such as exercising, yoga, being in the sunlight, and also taking more protein-based
Protein-based,
food.
yes.
Okay, such as tofu, vegetables. Okay. Great.
Okay. So what about the other hormones, like oxytocin?
Okay. So oxytocin is actually the third hormone that we are going to discuss about today. So oxytocin, I believe last time when I was in medical school, I learned about oxytocin during the breastfeeding reflex, the suckling reflex. Other than that, I don't know about. Actually, oxytocin is one of the happy hormones. So this is like very interesting point to me. So oxytocin is actually also called the love hormones. Okay, so it's a hormones produced in our brain. Okay, and why is it called love hormones? Because it's released when we are doing some positive social interactions. So for example, during breastfeeding, when the baby is sucking, okay, and also when we give a hug to our family, friends, okay, these are actually the examples of positive social interactions that can promote the release of oxytocin. Of course, besides this, other activities such as having a dinner with friends, dancing, or giving compliments to other people can also release oxytocin in our body. So these are the examples where the oxytocin levels will increase in our body. And what does oxytocin do in our body? So oxytocin, as the name suggests, it's love hormone. So it actually gives a calming effect. So calming effect in eczema patients, it actually relieves or gives a calming effect to the eczema patients. So it helps in emotional regulations, social interactions, and also, most importantly, stress reduction. Yes. Or because of the calming effect, it's also called the mood stabilizer. Yes. So just now, endorphin is the painkiller. Serotonin is the contentment hormone. This oxytocin is actually the mood stabilizer, the calming effect. So it helps to relieve the stress and also promotes positive social interactions. Yes. So what do you know? Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why is it called a love hormone? Is it because when we feel we are in love or feel being loved, then this hormone is being produced. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. So
okay.
any positive social interactions, such as what Dr. Derek mentioned, being loved or loving someone, giving a hug, kissing, breastfeeding, sucking reflex can actually promote the release of this love hormone, which subsequently gives the calming effect on the person itself. Yes. So how
Interesting.
does oxytocin and eczema, how does these two hormones are related? So the same like endorphins, when we know that stress is actually the main trigger of eczema. So activities that can actually improve or increase the release of oxytocins can actually improve the eczema condition, because high levels of oxytocin can actually make your skin more stable. Okay? And number two is actually it improves the calming effect in the eczema patients. So because we know that just now Dr. Derek mentioned eczema patients, they mostly have depression, okay, they have emotional problems. So this oxytocin can actually improve the overall mental well-being of these eczema patients, okay? And by doing so, it actually improves the eczema condition. And number three is actually oxytocin also play a minor role in promoting or boosting our immune function. Yes. So by improving our immune function, it indirectly also improves the eczema condition. Yes. So besides calming down the mind, it improves the immune system as well. Yes.
Okay. So is there any way we can improve or to release more of this oxytocin naturally that you know of?
Of course, there is. So the
Being with
example,
friends.
hugging your family, yes, having dinner, some positive social interactions, having dinner with friends, family, or giving a hug, a kiss, okay, dancing also can, and also give compliments to other people can actually
So easy.
promote. Yes, yes,
Sound
these
very
are
easy,
actually
very doable.
yes doable at home anywhere. So yeah, it's true lifestyle. So you don't have to take something else. You just have to do some simple gestures in your daily life. Then all this will actually boost up your happy hormones. Yes.
Interesting, very interesting. Love hormone can be related to eczema and can
Yes.
stabilize it as well.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll be talking about the last hormone for today, which is dopamine. Okay, dopamine, I think many people would have heard of this name, dopamine, because it's one of the more well-known one, I think, in our modern culture to give you that dopamine rush, because it's usually associated with making us feel pleasure.
Pleasure.
Yes,
Okay.
and it is hormone that is released when we feel pleasure, especially as a reward. Simple example is we go for shopping.
Okay.
So we buy something for ourselves, we feel rewarded, we feel pleasure, and that's when we get the dopamine rush.
Feel
So,
motivated
yes.
to go shopping.
Or
Okay.
even something as simple as you are eating your food that you have been craving for so long. Dopamine rush also. Okay. So not only making us feeling pleasure, it is important in other parts of our body also. Regulates our mood, our attention, even movement of our body. Because Parkinson disease is also associated with dopamine. When there's a dysfunction of dopamine, Parkinson can happen.
Low level.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So not only in the brain, also in our part of the body, our heart, our kidney, our immune system as well. So this dopamine easily can get from shopping. But what happens if it goes haywire or is dysfunctional, becomes problematic? So it can happen due to oxidative stress. Okay, that means our body is always inflammation.
Inflammation.
Yes. one thing. From our modern lifestyles, we sleep late, we might be taking a lot of our not so healthy junk foods.
Processed food, high
Yeah.
sugar.
So all this can lead to more of the body inflammation and also our stress level, our daily stress levels, even stress at work, stress at home. So all these things can cause our body to go into you can cause imbalance in the dopamine system. So when you have too little dopamine, you will obviously you feel less motivated. Okay, you feel less excited. You feel very tired or lethargic to do anything. You don't feel any pleasure at all because of too little dopamine. But if too high of dopamine, for example, for those who are always in a very stressful environment,
Very excited mood
yeah,
state.
or
Okay.
some very stressful hobbies or lifestyle, for example, they're always gaming. So all these things can cause higher dopamine, and it can lead to some impulse control issue. For example, impulse shopping, just to chase the dopamine. So this is how it works. Okay, it can also cause some hyper competitive behavior, aggressive behavior.
Aggressive.
Mm.
So high level of dopamine is not good.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Not only in our attitude, our behavior, and all. Too much of dopamine can also cause eczema.
Too much dopamine.
Yes,
Oh,
because
okay.
it causes our body to becoming more inflammation. Okay, so for people who are very stressful, you have higher dopamine. So higher dopamine will cause some other release of other stress hormones. Dopamine, one of them, norepinephrine, like you mentioned, or even epinephrine. So all these things can cause our skin to become more inflamed. So this is how dopamine works. And high level of dopamine, right, it can worsen it and can disrupt the skin barrier function. That means the skin barrier is not so good. Outside allergens or other pollutants can easily irritate our skin and even cause flare-ups of the eczema. Okay.
What if the high level of dopamine is because of I listen to music,
Okay.
like those calming exercises?
Okay. So it's a
It's
tricky
actually
question.
good or not?
Dopamine is actually quite good when you have all these natural way of increasing it. For example, diet, listening to music, even meditation can increase dopamine, but it will not cause dysregulation of dopamine. That means the dopamine is problematic or imbalanced already.
So if excitement, keep seeing handphone, gaming, then the one can cause imbalance of the dopamine and it's not good.
Yes, it's not so good to our body and also to our skin.
Okay, so it depends on the types of activities and the imbalance or the levels of dopamine.
Yes.
Okay.
The activities like you mentioned that can boost up dopamine naturally, listening to music, exercise, or even meditation, sun exposure, doing your own hobbies, those can boost up dopamine well. But if you are more prone towards the stressful kind of lifestyle, stressful kind of hobbies, then you may have all these high dopamine symptoms.
That means it will cause further flare up of that.
Yes.
So it's a double sword, this dopamine. Okay, double sword. But it depends on the types of activities that you are actually doing to promote the release of dopamine, right?
So not only all those hobbies, certain diets can also increase your dopamine naturally. For example, your cheese, your meats, your dairy product, soys and seeds, all those can improve dopamine naturally and will not cause all this skin inflammation and all, which is a good thing that we want. Another thing is increasing your magnesium intake can also help with dopamine level and also help with eczema, make it less inflammation, more manageable.
Okay.
So, Dr. Melissa, what are your opinions on all these four these happy hormones, and how do you think can help with our eczema patient? How would you advise them to get more of these happy hormones so they can get their eczema in better control.
So now we understand more about happy hormones. Now you will understand why we always advise our eczema patients to have a healthier lifestyle, such as having a healthy diet, and also more exercises, more outdoor activities, more in the sun, and also having enough sleep, then also having activities that can actually relieve stress. So all these are actually related to increasing the happy hormones in our body. So by increasing the happy hormones in our body through this kind of lifestyle modification, it can actually help to improve the body inflammation as well as the body's immune system in stabilizing the eczema condition. Yes. And how to differentiate these four happy hormones? Like, to repeat again, so endorphin is the painkiller, okay? And then serotonin is the contentment, fulfillment hormone. And then oxytocin is the love hormone. And lastly, dopamine.
It's a pleasure hormone.
Pleasure hormone. Okay, so these are the mild differences in four of them, but all of them are under the category of happy hormones. Yes.
So we know that eczema is usually a lifelong disease. Many patients will have ups and downs throughout their lifetime.
Yes.
So medication definitely plays a role in managing all those acute flare-ups and all. But what about those remission time when we try to get the disease under control? And this is where happy hormones come into action. So we like to get more of these happy hormones going so that your body can produce more of these hormones to make you feel more happy. Your immune system is better controlled. Even your eczema is better controlled as well. So by doing all those exercises, go out and meet your friends,
hugging your family.
Yes. So
get
all
some
these things will
sun.
actually improve your eczema condition.
Yes. So, Dr. Derek, what about these are the simple gestures that we can do at home to improve the happy hormones in our body. What about if the eczema condition is very severe or very prolonged already? Have you ever encountered this type
Definitely, we have many patients who are suffering from eczema. They tend to have a lot of flare-ups during stressful times, like they are stressful at work, not getting enough sleep, stressful from exam. So these are the conditions that many people will face, and that's why we are here to help them with. So these acute flare-ups, definitely there's a role in medication in which medication can help to control down the inflammation in a much faster way compared to hormones. So medication definitely one thing, but for the long-term control, hormones is actually one of the things that we're looking into, not only just happy hormones, some other hormones as well. So we need to make sure that the hormones are functioning in an optimal level together with the effect of this happy hormone to make you feel better, make you less inflamed, so they can feel better control by doing simple gestures.
Yes. So for mild cases, we can opt for these simple gestures to improve the happy hormones. But for severe and prolonged cases, we might need some extra treatments like what Dr. Derek mentioned, some medications or further assessment or analysis into the deeper root cause of the body, such as the hormones, the body's inflammation level as well.
Not to forget the other causes of eczema, we need to treat them also other than these happy hormones.
So Dr. Derek, I heard about the gut health and the eczema connection.
Okay.
Yeah, can you explain more about this?
Do you guys know that there is a connection between our gut and our brain? It's called a gut-brain axis.
Okay.
So our gut, it has a lot of nervous systems, a lot of nervous cells there. It will communicate through all these neurotransmitters to our brain to tell them how is our gut health. Okay, so when our gut is healthy, for example, we have a lot of good bacteria in there, very less bad bacteria, our digestion is good, we are taking healthy food, we're taking all the enough nutrients vitamins and supplements.
High protein food.
Yes,
Okay.
diet, definitely one thing.
Mm.
So our gut will tell our brain that, oh, we are doing good. Our body is getting all the enough nutrients, all the good nutrients. So what happens in eczema is, we notice that, okay, for those who are eczema, they tend to have these gut problems. So that means that their gut is not in the most healthy state.
That means
Yeah.
they have lower levels of good
Yes.
probiotics.
Yes, the good bacteria,
Mm.
probiotics,
Mm.
so they help in our digestion, help getting our nutrients, help preventing the bad bacteria from overpopulating.
They also release neurotransmitters, right?
Yes,
Okay.
serotonin also coming from our gut as well.
Probiotics. Okay.
Okay, so we need to take good care of our gut.
Mm.
You need to build up more of this probiotic and reduce the bad bacteria, so that our body get all the good nutrients and less inflammation from our diet. We all know that our modern diet is not that healthy. We take a lot of fried food,
High sugar
high
food, processed food.
definitely not enough fruits, not enough
Always
vegetables.
taking outside food, no home cooked food.
Yes.
Okay. So all this can actually weaken our gut. We should actually weaken our probiotics and enzymes in our gut. We should subsequently reduce the serotonin or other neurotransmitters level in our body. So it will actually lead to some mental health issues as well as sleep issues if we notice the connection between the gut and the brain, right?
Dr. Melissa, do you know something about leaky gut?
Leaky gut.
Is it related to this, our gut health, our gut-brain axis?
Yes, definitely. So leaky gut is actually, the cause is the same, like what Dr. Derek mentioned, having too much of high sugar food, okay, processed dairies, okay, oily fried food. All this can actually make the gut leaky. So what does leaky
Yeah,
means?
why leaky? Something is leaking in, something is leaking out.
Okay, so leaky gut, actually our gut membrane is lined by a very thin layer of protective membrane or protective lining. So if we consume all this kind of food every day for a long term of time, it can actually make the membrane more porous, or we say the gap between the membrane proteins are further from each
Okay,
other.
meaning there are holes or maybe
there
there
are
are
holes.
gaps in between our membrane, our lining in our intestine.
Yes.
So what will happen?
So this can actually make the toxins enter our body more easily because the absorption.
Toxin from our food?
Yes, from environment as well.
Okay.
Besides that, any other
Sorry?
besides toxins, so it will make our nutrients absorption will be lesser as well. Okay, and toxins accumulation in our body will be higher.
So this toxin accumulated in our body will need to be processed by our body through inflammation.
Yes.
So then, in another word, it will bring up body inflammation.
More body inflammation. So it will subsequently again cause eczema flare up and other medical conditions as well. Yes. So gut is actually the main, what we say, the connection between the external and our internal body.
Oh,
Yes.
not only the skin. Skin
Yes,
is the external surface touching with the world.
Yes.
So our gut.
Our gut as well.
Oh.
So although skin is the largest organ, but the gut is actually considered as the second brain of our body as well. So second brain because it produces the neurotransmitters, hormones by our probiotics. And another similarity is the connection between the internal and the external world as well.
Okay.
Yes.
This sounds very, very serious. How can we improve this? Or how can we prevent this?
Okay, through gut health.
Okay. How do we
Improve our gut health?
Yes.
Yes. So gut health can actually improve through very simple steps are actually reducing the high sugar.
Okay. Take care of our diet.
Yes.
Must eat good
Diet,
food.
good food balance, good food, more protein, less sugar.
Okay.
Okay. And number two is actually you can actually boost up because now the problem is the probiotics and enzymes are actually lower in levels. So we can directly supplement the probiotics and enzymes through supplementation.
Okay.
Okay, probiotics, enzymes, you can take it once or twice a day. Yeah, these supplementations can actually help to improve your gut health.
Okay.
Yes.
So we need to eat more of this probiotic good bacteria so that our gut will have more good bacteria and lesser of the bad bacteria.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So that will repair or somehow improve our leaky gut or improve our gut health as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Very simple.
Yes, very simple. But actually, there are certain types of probiotics that is very specifically like good for our gut. For example, is the BB12 probiotics, okay, which cannot survive in aerobic circumstances. So this BB12 can be obtained through, because BB12, this probiotic, it likes the gold kiwi, right? So by taking more gold kiwi, it can actually promote this BB12 probiotics in our gut as well, or through direct supplementation.
Just now you mentioned something that the bacteria doesn't live so well in the aerobic condition. Is that correct? Okay. For those who are not very familiar with the term, aerobic means
aerobic.
is air
Got air,
or
got oxygen.
So what happens in our gut is there's not a lot of oxygen in our gut. So many of the bacteria cannot live there, especially those who are more aerobic loving types. So those who can live there is we call a term called anaerobic, which is those who can survive without oxygen.
Yes.
So this probiotic is
BB12. BB12
okay.
probiotics. So if you are looking for probiotics, look for those that can promote the growth of BB12. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, some other probiotics, lactobacillus, okay, are also good for your gut, okay, as long as you take the supplementation consistently, daily, every day, for at least 6 months, it will actually help with your gut reset, yeah, throughout the way, okay, because gut reset actually takes about 6 months, yes.
So all these bacteria, this probiotic, when we take it into our gut, they need some other things to help them to grow. It's like you're planting a seed. Okay, you need to give them fertilizer.
Food
For
or
example,
fertilizer?
yes. So in this example will be the probiotic will be the seed. Okay, we plant them in our gut already. We want them to grow, right? So we need to give them some fertilizer. And one of the fertilizers that are very good is enzymes. For example, apple cider.
Apple cider,
Yes.
okay.
So there are enzymes in there that are very good, which is the food for the probiotic. So this enzyme will help them grow better so they can stay in our gut in the long term. So there are other commercial types of enzymes available also that can help to boost up your probiotic survival rate, probiotic function.
So besides apple cider, you can also opt for kombucha. Yes, all these can actually replace enzymes or act as enzymes that will promote the growth of probiotics as well. Yes. So, Dr. Derek, besides probiotics, enzymes, if the eczema condition is still not stabilized after doing lifestyle modification that improves happy hormones, after gut supplementation, we as professional doctors, what else can we offer?
I think we need to find out the root cause
Okay.
for this eczema condition. Why is it still happening from time to time? Is there anything that we overlook or we didn't focus on during that part? So we need to go back to their history to find out what might be the possible causes for that, and then we need to treat from the root causes.
Okay, so a complete blood test?
Definitely a blood
Definitely.
test can tell a lot of things.
Okay. So besides happy hormones, there are actually other hormones that need to be looked into, such as our stress hormones, DHEA, okay, our sex hormone, testosterone, okay, any other hormones, thyroid hormones, okay, thyroid hormones are actually related closely to our skin as well as our body's metabolism as well.
True.
So these are the other hormones that we need to explore further if your condition is still not improved. after like lifestyle modification and also gut supplementation. Okay, other options you can consider are actually antioxidants.
Definitely, you
Yeah.
can bring down your body inflammation.
Body
Will help
inflammation,
with your eczema.
yes, such as curcumin,
Mm-hmm.
yes, vitamin D3, yes, all these can actually bring down your body's inflammation. Yes. Mm.
Very interesting, including CoQ10, one of the antioxidant as well.
Coenzyme Q, yes. So all these strong antioxidants are actually good in stabilizing your eczema condition. Okay.
So it's clear to our viewers that those active flare-ups, you might need a bit of medication to help you suppress with that. But for the long-term control, we are looking for other things that can help to improve your control for eczema so that it doesn't come back so easily. So easy things that we can do: exercise, sunlight exposure, even some social event, going out with friends, taking the good food, taking the right supplement.
Laughing, yes, taking dark chocolates, yeah. All this can actually improve your skin eczema as well. So the relationship between this lifestyle modification and skin eczema, the connection is actually the happy hormones. Yes, happy hormones is the one that is actually manipulating or controlling your skin eczema condition. Yes.
Okay, so I think we have
So we have
come
a
to
look.
almost the end of the session.
Okay.
So we'll open up the floor for
Sharing
any questions.
Yes.
So far, I think we have one
Question?
from the floor.
Yes. Let me check. How to choose a good probiotics?
Okay. Since you are so expert in our BB12, do you mind to tell us more a bit about probiotics?
Okay. So probiotics, because as long as actually the good one are actually the BB12 that we cannot find commercially.
Okay.
So any probiotics is actually good as long as you take it. Look out for those with lactobacillus, and of course, if there is BB12, is even better. Or those ingredients or substances that can promote the BB12 growth in our gut. So these are generally the type of probiotics that you should look for. But most importantly, besides the strain, most importantly is actually the patient's commitment or consistency in taking the probiotics. And also it should be combined with enzymes. It's not just probiotics solely.
Okay. Yes. So this probiotic doesn't mean that once you take it, it will stay there forever, because our cells in our intestine turns over very fast because we take in food and drinks every day. So it somehow be washed out also. Some might not survive after we eat the probiotic. So to improve the survival, to increase the number of probiotics in our gut, we need to take it consistently. Okay, we need to take the right strain. Okay, like BB12. One of the important bacteria is F. in BB12, so lactobacillus bifido, also one of the good bacteria. So, and then we need to supplement them with some enzymes. And we need to take for some time for them to stay in the gut to build up the good environment before you can feel the effects.
And besides that, what are the steps that we can do to promote the absorption of probiotics? Because we understand that probiotics, after we consume, it has to go through our mouth, our esophagus, our gastric acid. Then only it will reach our small intestine and the large intestine. So there are certain ways to promote the survival of these probiotics. Number one, you can actually take it with high fiber food. Okay, high fiber food actually promotes the survival and the absorption of these probiotics. Number two, you can actually take more water when you are taking probiotics. It helps with the absorption and the survival as well. Yeah, so these are the few measures that you can actually consider when taking probiotics. More water and take with high fiber food. Yes.
Don't forget enzyme as well.
Yes, it's combination with enzyme. Yes. Any other questions?
Okay, we have another question coming up. How to choose good antioxidant or turmeric? especially turmeric.
Ah,
So
okay.
turmeric powder has the component of curcumin.
Mm.
Okay, so this curcumin is known to be a very good antioxidant. Okay, so it's produced from uh, turmeric. Okay, into the powder form.
Mm.
Okay, so this turmeric powder, there are many brands, many different process in getting this, but one that is particularly good is those that are nanoparticle size. Okay, when it's in nanoparticle size, it dissolves in water easily and gets absorbed into our body and subsequently our blood much more easier, and we get the good result from that.
So, and actually, how we can differentiate, because there are a lot of different brands of turmeric or curcumin out there. So, how to differentiate good quality curcumin and the not so good one?
Okay, one simple way you can do that is just take the tablet of your curcumin, okay, open it up and pour the powder into the water, okay, and then you stir it, okay, and leave it
Leave it on.
to
Okay.
see whether your curcumin powder is dispersed in the water evenly or not. Okay. If it clumps up or if it settles down as a layer, not very dissolved in the water, then that means the curcumin powder size is bigger than nanoparticle size, and it's harder for our body to absorb this kind of curcumin powder.
So, the one that settles down is not good,
Yes.
right? Okay.
So if nanoparticle size, it will disperse or dissolve in the water evenly.
Even though we leave it there for
Yeah.
half an hour, 1 hour.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Okay. So this is how we can actually differentiate the good quality and the not so good one. Yes. Yes. Okay. So nanoparticles, the absorption is definitely better, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Because of the size of the molecule. It's much more smaller, easier for our gut cells to absorb it.
Okay. Any other questions from the floor?
We have one more question. If my kid always eat chocolate and watch iPad and play game until late night, is he possibly suffering from lack of happy hormones in the body that trigger his eczema?
Wait, where's the question?
It's quite a long question. So it's the situation is actually saying about eating a lot of chocolate, but then watching iPad and play games until late night. And then is he suffering from lack of hormone, and that might trigger up his eczema. So a lot of situation here. Right. What's your opinion in this kind of situation?
Yes, definitely. Okay, if always eat chocolate, is it dark chocolate? Okay, I bet it's not, because kids don't like dark chocolate because it's a little bit bitter. So if normal chocolate is actually very high, it's considered as processed
Sugar.
dairies. Yes, and
And
also high in sugar
sugars.
content. And then, so
So the endorphin levels might not be sufficient.
it's definitely not enough, because yes, we need at least 85% of cocoa, dark chocolate. Watching iPad and playing games until late night.
So they are engaging in a lot of stressful activities. They sleep late, so their happy hormones might
Will
not
drop definitely. So if the happy hormones are lower level in your kid, this will actually trigger off your eczema. Yes, because it's actually indicating your body's is in the condition of stress.
possible.
So stress will actually induce or trigger out your eczema
There's
condition.
a possible triggering factor in
Yes.
this situation if
Okay.
he is prone to having eczema.
Yeah, sleep late, eat chocolate, and play games. So these are actually not the healthy lifestyle that we promote. Okay, so all this can actually reduce your happy hormones level and trigger out your eczema. Yes.
Okay. Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, any more questions?
I think think we don't have any more questions. Oh, wait, we just have one more question. Is menses related with eczema? Okay, so menses is female hormones.
Mm.
So how menses happens is because of the changes in female hormone in a cyclical period. That means every month there will be changes in their hormonal levels, estrogen, progesterone, luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormones. So and then it will trigger up menses. Have you encountered any patient that will or that is triggered up by menses?
So far, no.
Mm-hmm.
Unless menses triggering out your
Mhm.
acne breakout, then yes.
Mm-hmm.
For eczema, most of my patients will tell me that their triggers are actually such as spicy food,
Mm-hmm.
high sugar food, and then sleeping late, stress at work or school exam. Yeah, and all these are actually the commonest triggers that I've experienced before lah. How about you?
Same thing also in our center we
Mm.
experience more of these menses related to acne.
Mm.
So eczema patient we don't see such a strong association or relationship in every month during the menstrual period. It's usually more related to when they are having stressful periods, for stressful times at work or at school.
Mm. Yes. So I think there is very less connection between menses and eczema. Mm.
Okay, I think that's the last question that we have.
Okay.
So we'd like to summarize again that the four happy hormones,
Mm.
okay, endorphins, which is our natural morphines, helps with pain killing,
Pain killing.
okay,
And
And-
also happiness, excitement.
Euphoria.
Yeah, euphoria hormones. Yes.
Okay. So for
Serotonin
serotonin,
is about contentment.
contentment,
Yes, contentment. And oxytocin is about love, bonding. Okay. And lastly, dopamine,
is pleasure.
pleasure hormones. Okay.
So all these or happy hormones when they are in normal or slightly higher than normal level, acquired through natural ways, it actually will boost up your immune system. It will make your eczema more stable.
Yes. So there are many simple ways that we can do at home to actually boost up our happy hormones. Already mentioned many times before through lifestyle modifications, again, through a balanced diet, through exercising, through bonding, okay, and also through
Through doing your own hobbies,
yes,
things that you love, food that you like.
yeah, stress relief activities basically will actually improve your happy hormones, then which will lead to skin stability. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds like easy way.
Yes, but of course, if all these steps you have already taken, but your eczema condition is still very unstable, okay, then you should consult professional doctors for further treatment or further assessment into some deeper root cause or some other causes of eczema, such as the hormones part and also the gut health. Okay.
All right. So very thank you, Dr. Melissa,
Yes,
to
thank
be
you,
with
Dr.
us today.
Derry.
So we look forward to having you in our next live session. All right. Till then,
Yeah.
thank you everyone.
Thank you. See you.
Bye bye.
Bye.